Hi everyone, welcome back to Programming Horizons. In this video, we are going to study about variable and data types. So let's get started. A variable can be defined as the named storage location in memory. Variables are called so because their values often change or vary during the execution of a program. Suppose we have x equal to 5. So that means we are storing somewhere in computer memory this value 5. And when we say x equal to 5, then x represents the name of the variable. Declaration of a variable. In C++, before using any variable, we must declare it. And there is a proper syntax for declaring a variable, which goes like this. First we mention the data type name, followed by variable name, and we terminate this line with a semicolon. Initialization of a variable is the process of assigning some initial value to a variable. There are two ways to initialize a variable. The first one is two-step declaration and initialization, where in the first line we declare the variable and in the second line we initialize it. On the other hand, we also have a shortcut method where we do declaration and initialization in a single step. We have just now seen the declaration and initialization of variables. Now it's time to practice them. So here I am going to create a program so that I can take a variable called distance, assign it some value and then display it. So as you know, the first line of my program will be hash include iostream, where I'm telling the compiler to include iostream standard library into my program so that I can work with input and output. After that I will have using namespace standard, then I will write int main. So this is the basic structure of a C++ program. Now as I mentioned that I want to work with a variable called distance, so I'm going to declare it. And let's suppose the distance between two cities is 76 kilometer. So 76 is a whole number. That means I will also have to put the data type along with the variable name. So here 76 is integer type, hence the data type will be int followed by the name of the variable, which is distance, and then I put a semicolon. This line is declaration of variable and my variable name is distance. So as you can see, I have added a comment here. This comment will not be executed along with the program. It is just to improve the readability of the code. Now that we are done with declaration, let's initialize this variable. So I will write here the name of the variable, then equal to sign, and I will assign it value of 76. That's it. So we are done with the initialization of the variable as well. Now I am going to print it. So let's suppose I want to display a message distance between two cities. So I am going to write cout followed by output operator, and I will print my message within double quotation marks. Just remember that whenever you want to display something as it is, you just write that within double quotation marks. So my sentence is distance between two cities is equal to, and then I will put a semicolon to terminate this line. In the next line I will add here the distance value. Now in order to add the value of a variable, we simply write the name of the variable without any quotation marks, and that's it. After that my last statement would be return 0, and that is all. My program is now complete. I will save it by clicking on file, save as. Let's give it a title of program 2, and I will save it as a CPP or C++ file and then save it. Then I will click on execute, compile and run. So there are no errors and my program is up and running. It has displayed the correct output, which is distance between two cities equal to 76. Now I want to also show you that if you have multiple output statements back to back without any other statement in between, you can also club them. So here I can club these two statements just by removing this semicolon and removing cout from the second statement, and I will just keep this output operator from the second statement along with the name of the variable. This will work just fine. Execute, compile and run, and again I am getting the same output. Let's dive deeper into data types provided by C++ language. Data type tells us about the type of data that we are actually working with in our program. What kind of values are we taking as input, whether an integer or a fractional number or a character, and what kind of outputs we will be producing through the program. That is determined by the data type. Not only it tells us about the operations that can be performed on the data, but it also determines the amount of memory space required for the storage of data. In C++, data types can be broadly classified into three categories. First one is primitive data types. This is the fundamental data types that is already built into the programming language itself. Next is derived data types, which are built based on the primitive data types. We will be studying them later. And finally, we have user-defined data types, where users can create their own data types according to their requirements. The chart here represents different primitive data types available in C++. First one is int data type, which represent positive or negative whole numbers, and the amount of memory required by integer data is 4 bytes. Next we have floating data type, which is represented by keyword float. Floating data type represents positive or negative decimal point numbers with precision up to 6 decimal places. The amount of memory space required for storage of floating data type is 4 bytes. Then we have double, which is also storing positive or negative decimal point numbers but with higher precision, up to 15 decimal places. And the amount of memory space required by a double data type is 8 bytes. Then we have character, which represents a single character, and the amount of storage required by character data type is 1 byte. Finally, we have bool, which represents boolean true and false. Again, the amount of memory space required for storage of boolean data type is 1 byte. Let's understand different data types through an example. Suppose I want to store age, height and grade of a student. Then I would require 3 different variables, each having a different data type. Let's see how. So I am going to use int, or you can say integer data type, for storing age of the student. And let's suppose the age of the student is 10 years. So this is my integer variable age. Keyword int is used here to represent integer, and equal to 10 means we are initializing this variable age with value 10. Now I want to take the variable height, and I want to store decimal value inside it. So let's say decimal value is 150.68, and since this is a decimal value, the keyword I would be using is float to represent floating point value, and I will terminate this line with a semicolon. Similarly, if I want to store the grade of the student, so grade could be A, B, C or F. So in that case, I would use character data type, which is represented using keyword char. So char grade equal to, now character is always represented by enclosing it within a single quotation mark. So I will write here A. Let's suppose the grade of the student is A. So all my variables have been declared now. So I am going to print these one by one. So here I am printing age of the student equal to, and this message will get printed as it is. So I will display the value of age. Now if I just display age within double quotation marks, let's say it's in small letters. First run this program, and I want to show you the difference of using something within double quotation marks and without double quotation marks. So I'm going to first save this program as, let's say, program 3, save, and I'm going to execute and compile run. So my program is error free, and as you can see here, the output has been displayed, age of the student equal to age. But I don't want the name of the variable age, I want its value. So I have to remove this name of the variable age from these double quotation marks. Now when I print this, so the value will get displayed. So execute, compile and run, and you will notice that this time value gets displayed. Now I want to display the height of the student, so I will write here height of the student equal to, and again I am writing here cout height. Finally I will display here grade of the student equal to, and cout again name of the variable grade. So let's execute, compile and run, and as you can see, age of the student equal to 10, height of the student equal to 150.68, and grade of the student equal to A has been displayed on my screen. But this output is not looking very nice, it's all written in the single line, so I want to split it up in different lines. Let's do it. So for this purpose I will make use of one special character sequence which is called as /n. Before every message or every text that I am displaying here, and just remember that whenever you are using /n, it should be enclosed within the double quotation marks as well. This represents new line, it's new line character sequence. So what it will do, it will just split every line of text from the other, and all will get displayed one after the other instead of being displayed in the same line. So compile and run, and now you can see my output is looking much nicer.